Hello, my name is Dan Hennen. Today is July 11th, 2017. I'll be joined with guest host Greg Fernandez Jr. And between the both of us, we're going to review the movie documentary called A Gray State by Erik Nelson. This is the documentary that Erik Nelson and his team put together relating to the David Crowley and the family murders and the project called The Gray State. It was premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival. The film, once again, is a documentary called A Gray State, not to be confused with the Gray State project that David Crowley was working on, or Gray State: The Rise, the documentary that David Crowley did. But this is called A Gray State, which is really just a documentary based on this whole events of the deaths of the family of three in Apple Valley, Minnesota. Is that a good way to summarize it, Greg?
Yeah, it's basically a documentary of the documentary and of the life of David Crowley, and more so, not really his life, but his death is kind of what it seems to really be focused on. And this whole alt-right thing, the key word that I keep hearing is alt-right, right-wing, you know? It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's really pushing the envelope there on some of these reviews of the movie.
Yeah, and there's no facts to really back up any of this alt-right crap. So.
Yeah, and the movie was the documentary that Erik Nelson directed was taking, I think it was up to 13,000 hours of different footage and audio and home movies and selfies, and David awfully seemed to film a lot at home all the time. Anything that came up, it seemed to film. So once they got a hold of all of this footage and video and photographs and video, they really went to town on making this movie, and it really brought out some new things. Now, I haven't seen it myself, and neither have you, but it just came out. It was previewed in the Tribeca Film Festival. Now, lately, it was shown in the Nantucket Film Festival, and then I think next month it makes its premiere in the Australian Film Festival. Now, tonight's show topic will really be the reviews that we're seeing on this website called the Rotten Tomatoes movie review website. And the reason that we're dedicating this section tonight for this episode is there's only 5 reviews out there on this movie, and all I think were added in a 1 week time period, and they all say basically the same thing with a little different verbiage, and then nothing's been added since, and all the 5 reviewers give it 2 thumbs up, or in this case 100% really on the tomato meter, as this great documentary. But yet there's no poster on the movie, there's no information on it, the audience has it written in, there's no other comments, there's just 5 critics, and they say what a great movie it is. So tonight's episode will be basically on this, and what I'll do is I'll pull this up, Greg, and there's only the 5 reviews, and we're going to go through one at a time and basically bring them up. How does that sound for you?
Cool, sounds good. Yeah, I think people should, check out this site, and if they want to, start leaving comments. I think I might just leave a comment here in a day or two.
Yes, good idea. And the other thing too is reviewing these comments and reviewing these reviews. Keep in mind too, as many of us talk about the compromised media and the mass media as tools and slaves and basically working for the man. These reviews, as I read them, do not seem to be authentic reviews. They're still seem to be pushing a narrative. So, for the listeners out there, when you watch this, leave comments yourself below this video when we publish it, because hopefully it'll open your eyes and ears when you read reviews in the future. Right off the bat, we'll start with Frank Sheck. Frank Sheck wrote a Gray State film review for the Tribeca Film Festival. Although several self-identified citizen investigators, he's referring to us here, by the way, attempted to prove that the family was murdered, the quote, credibility means nothing to me, one of them ironically comments. And that's a shot towards you, Greg, there. I believe
I was wondering who that was about.
That was exactly, and I'll get to that too, because this is a good one to start with, because I know exactly what you meant when you said that, but he obviously took it the wrong way. It goes on to say the film makes its case methodically and persuasively. Nelson, who's produced such Werner Herzog documentaries such as Grizzly Man, Herzog returns the favor by serving as this film's executive producer, clearly knows his way around obsessive personalities, and in Crowley he's found a compelling textbook example of obsession descending into madness. And so right off the bat, Frank Sheck goes in and makes a couple, I wouldn't say condescending, but comments, and then really throws Crowley under the bus as an obsessive person here who has descended into madness. And that's a common theme on these reviews too, is painting, I would call this the David Crowley case, going down that path of the movie The Shining, the Stephen King movie The Shining is what I'm kind of referring to, is they're painting David Crowley into this person who's gone off the deep end. Werner Herzog is the executive producer of Erik Nelson's documentary about the mysterious deaths of an alt-right filmmaker and his family. So there we get the phrase alt-right right off the bat.
Right-wing media provocateur Alex Jones recently admitted in court that he's merely playing a character. Yeah. We're already here talking about Alex Jones. All of a sudden, the focus, an article that is supposed to be about David Crowley and this alt-right filmmaker who killed his family, all of a sudden it turns to Alex Jones. And they call Alex Jones someone who is associated with the right wing. Well, I don't believe there's any proof that Alex Jones is associated with the right wing. I don't believe Alex Jones, really gets into that, to the Democrat-Republican thing. I think he's getting a lot of flack now because of his stance on Trump. But really, this has nothing to do with Alex Jones. It goes on again, talking about exploring the alt-right phenomenon through the prism of a conspiracy theory involving its subject's demise. A gray state in which Jones makes a brief appearance provides timely political commentary along with a fascinating true-life crime tale. Here we are talking about an alt-right filmmaker, and then we move to Alex Jones. And I think that's a big problem, because what is the tie between Alex Jones and David Crowley? There are some, but they don't really go into that. They don't really mention how many times has Alex Jones had David Crowley on. I've only found maybe one, maybe two.
Yeah, I think it was once or twice, but that was about it. And Jones supported it along with a bunch of other folks in the alternative media. But in working with the Gray State and the David Crowley, he was very prominent to ensure not to use Republican Democrat paradigm in any of his work. I mean that, and now what we're getting in the reviews is that all over again. The shoving the left side, right side, divide and conquer, and that was not Crowley's aim. I think from being a libertarian standpoint on this project, is to mainly open up their eyes and educate the people, not left-right paradigm, not left, alt-right and everything else. But the review right away goes into this Alex Jones connection, and as a discrediting attempt.
Erik Nelson has also said he would consider David Crowley a libertarian. And I think we're going to find that too. It's like, well, where is this alt-right thing coming from? Like, why are these articles so slanted? I don't think that this movie is going to solve what really happened. But maybe I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Now,
the self-identified citizen investigators, I think he's referring to you and I.
Why do you think that's us? That's so funny.
That is exactly because one of your quotes on your exchange with Sean Wright right at the beginning on an instant message was, "You're going to lose all credibility if you go down this road." And you said back to him, "My credibility means nothing to me. I'm not out for how I'm viewed down the road. I'm out for the truth," is what you said.
Okay.
And that, I think, is what he's driving at here by saying how ironic it is. Now, I'd like to jump in here and opine personally that it's the same with me. So I agree with you, Greg, here that credibility for me on this case means nothing, as far as I'm not trying to do research into this case to be credible on the street or to have street cred or to look good or to look bad. It's to get the truth out there, irrelevant of the credibility and how it makes me look as a person, sheds me in a good or bad light. That's what you were referring to there, and that's what Sean Wright was so concerned about by saying if you jump in this, you're going to lose street cred on the outside by delving into this case, and you said, I don't care about that.
Gotcha.
I want the truth to come out. So that's the whole point with investigators like what we have here on the Justice for David Crowley pages. It's the people that want the truth, irrelevant if they like it or not, if it sheds them in a good light or not, or if it sheds them in a positive or negative light. We don't care about that, is what this whole point is trying to be. We want the truth out there.
Right, and they're trying to kind of spin that.
Correct.
By saying that the credibility, that I'm not worried about credibility because I don't have any, or I mean, I'm reading this. I've read this sentence like several times, and I still don't know what the crap this guy is saying. I might just have to ask him.
Yeah, you certainly could, but yeah, the two featured in the film is us on that Citizen Investigators, is who he's driving at there, and that's kind of a shot, an underhanded shot there towards us as not knowing what's going on.